Hello again. Some people ask me what I used to do for a living before I do what I do now, and before living in Australia. So here goes. Between the years of about 1993 and 2013, so for about 20 years, I used to be an entertainment agency. In 1993, we set up, my wife and I, Fiona, we set up an agency called Bees Knees Entertainments, and it was based in Stalybridge near Manchester, and it was brilliant. It was really good, and it was a really good time to be in entertainment. Fiona and I had been entertainers all our lives in various guises. We'd run pubs, we'd been pub managers, we'd been, most of all, Fiona being a singer, all her life since leaving school, and even to present day before the lockdowns. Um, and I'd been in entertainment as well, as a piano player, keyboard player, vocalist of sorts, one thing or another. And so it seemed inevitable, in a sense, that we set up an agency, which we did in 1993 with a great friend of ours called Tony Sullivan, who went to live in Blackpool eventually. Um, and I often look back at those times, in the 90s particularly. We had a stable of entertainers, which was really fantastic. In 1996, we did a showcase at the Willows Cabaret um, venue in Salford, Manchester, and it was a fantastic night. We had some great entertainers on, and we used to manage and represent some really wonderful cabaret acts, and I wonder what's happened to a lot of them. Some of them I still know quite well, some of them I know very well, but most of the people we used to represent, I've lost touch with them, and I made a little list here, and I'm going to read some of them out. Some were great friends at the time, starting with Richard Muller. We had so many laughs. It was a really good time, that in the 90s. There was a duo called Intact that we used to represent, hugely popular, with Sam and Mark. I think Sam's still she's still an act working in Yorkshire. I think she lives over there now, as far as I know. Great singer called Lee Jackson, who appeared on Stars in Their Eyes as John Bon Jovi. He was brilliant. He did some theatre stuff. Super voice. Just like his sister, Nikki Jackson. I don't know what happened to Lee and Nikki at all. I've not heard from them from 20 years away. Young girl singer we had called Sasha. She was great, very popular. Ashley Jordan, aka Linda Sully. She moved to Preston, and she was a great songwriter as well. Guitar vocal songwriter. Very nice girl, woman, and she was very popular. Singer called Cheryl Lewis, who lived in Hyde. Very popular girl, very bubbly personality. A friend, someone who became a friend, called Robert Yankovic. Actually, Robert Marks, we called him Robert Marks, and well, not we called him, he called himself. He was good, very funny guy. He's still in Stalybridge, I think, married to Debbie. Not to forget a great friend of mine who I'm still in touch with. Not so much these days, but still very dear and special to me. Been to everything. I've known him for years. We spent so much time together when I lived in Manchester. A guy called Guy Manring, the great Guy Manring, as I used to call him. Still do. And he used to make the phone ring a lot. He was a great singer. great entertainer, and yeah, good to hang around with Guy. And moving on, the irrepressible Tony Williams, who I'm still a friend of, known him for 30 years, from the time when we were both piano players at the Hilton Hotel at Manchester Airport. That's where me and Tony go back to in the 80s, 85, something like that. So I've known him for ages. The great Tony Williams and his duo. He had a duo at the time called High on Life, with a partner called Steve Rigby, very good bass player. And then Louise Muller, singer from Stockport. She was very good, very popular. As was Nicky James or Vicky Davis. If you're watching this, give us a shout, give us a thumb. She became a counsellor actually, so I often wonder how she's doing. Laurel, aka Heather Beckles from Bolton. I think she gave up singing, I'm not sure what happened to her. Andy Ross from Lytham St Anne's, lost touch with him. Nicole Marie from Warrington. Danielle from Mottram Rise, she was very popular. Great girl. I think she moved to Southport with her husband Simon. And not to forget a friend who is still in touch with, Michelle Gosling, who was a keyboard slash violin slash vocalist, and I'm still in touch with Michelle quite a lot, more than the others probably. Oh no, apart from Tony Williams, yeah. Michelle and Tony probably in touch with more than any of the others, but there's so many. I'm sorry if I've forgotten anyone from this list, but what does amaze me are the number of agents that we used to do business with who've since died, and I've included them on the list as well, which is just like amazing roll call of names. So Les Roberts is still alive, thank God, if you're watching this, Les. So a lot of these agents now, you know, they were great guys. Most of them are dead. Les Roberts is still alive, he's doing well. Mike Constantia is still alive, doing well. Howard Utley, great friend of mine. We used to have loads of laughs, me and Howard. Same with Mike Constantia and Les Roberts. And then some of the deceased ones, like John Peters, he went too soon, really, you know, well before his age. Chris Gordon, another one sadly gone. Jack Woods, Phil Youd and Brian Amber of Belgrade days. Phil was a good laugh. Bob Crossland, I don't think he's dead, but I think he moved to Spain. Same with Jeff Lawton of Bigwigs Entertainment, so I don't know what happened to him. Guy called John Baxendale, who used to run Leo Management with Les Roberts and Steve. John died. As did Mike King, another one who went before his time. And Owen Hughes from Wigan. All great guys. And we used to do a lot of business with these people, and it's strange looking back, because I was probably a young agent at the time. I would have been in my 20s, so I'm in my 50s now, so they would have been older, in their 40s and 50s at the time, so they've shuffled along the mortal coil. But I used to love those times, to be honest. I used to love the Bee's Knees Entertainment's time. It was a time when I drank a lot, went out a lot, socialised a lot. And it was before we sold Bee's Knees Entertainments to Wayne at Rumour Entertainments. He took over. And I think Nick Kellett from Kevin Carey Entertainments also was involved with Rumour as well. He might still be, I don't even know. It'd be great if someone could let me know in the comments below. And also, if you're watching this, let me know in the comments below where you are now and what you're doing, I'll just entitle the video Bees Knees Entertainment, so you'll remember Anthony and Fiona who used to run it. And Fiona took it to Blackpool when we moved there, and then we eventually sold up in around 2013, so 8-9 years ago. And the other thing I remember from the Bees Knees days, not only the good times, the acts were great. It was wonderful going out seeing them. It was really uplifting. But also the venues that I used to frequent as like local places, like the Enville Club every Monday night. They were brilliant days. We used to love going there, me and Guy Manring particularly, every Monday night for a few beers too many. The Traveller's Call in Staley Bridge, that was a local of mine for many years. The Pineapple in Staley Bridge was a local of mine for many years, where I was on the pool team. They never used to play me because I think they thought I was shit, but I used to think I was great anyway. And before moving to Blackpool, my last local was the Cowed Feet Club in Staley Bridge, and made a lot of friends there. In particularly the last steward that was there, called Gary Simpson, and his wife Kath. Gary was great, and I still see him a couple of times a year. So yeah, I miss those good times of being an agent. I don't miss the bad times of it. There was a lot of stress involved, because when you're an agent, you take on the title of middleman, and nobody likes a middleman. That's why no one likes estate agents, or they think you're having like a cut and you don't deserve it. So nobody likes that. So it was a title I didn't relish or enjoy that. So you become an agent, and then everybody dislikes you overnight because you say you're an agent. Unlike if you said, I'm a Macmillan nurse. So it's good to get out of it for that reasons. And I had a lot of hassle. Like I said before, moving to Australia, there was a lot of hassle. So I'm not sad to be out of it, but I do miss the good times. I suppose it's like anything, if you landed in shit, you'd probably find out that there was some benefit to it. Can't think what that might be actually, to be honest, but yeah, I miss the guys and girls that made it all great, the great singers, particularly the super entertainers like Intact. They'd always put a smile on your face and always like lift your mood and stuff, and there's a lot of emotional energy went into Bees Knees Entertainments. Lots of it took a lot out of me actually, but I was young enough at the time to cope. And I think with the list of agents that are dead, and I've only just mentioned half of them there are quite a lot of more who have died. Looking at that list, you think, well, I'm glad I got out of it when I did, because it's unhealthy really. It's too much stress. So, but at the time you don't know it when you're young. Who can tell the lambs in spring what fate the winter seasons bring? So anyway, it's a bittersweet video this, so if anyone remembers Bees Knees Entertainment, you can write a comment in the list below. Click like and subscribe if you want to. No other videos are about anything like this, but it was just worth mentioning as it was a big part of my life and one that I miss a bit. Don't miss it enough to start it again, and the entertainment business now seems fucked since what's happened in the world with coronavirus and everything, but there you go. Who knew? See you all soon. Hope you're all happy, hope you're all well, and from friends from the past and to friends from the future. Cheers.